Uganda has enjoyed a close relationship between the government and the donors for several years. This has paved the way for replacing a substantial part of donors' earmarked project funding with budget support, and it's welcomed both by the Ugandan government and several donors.
It doesn't matter where the money is coming from. What matters is whether the money that is being contributed by all development partners is being used to achieve the objectives, is used to achieve the targets.
Budget support historically here has been selected by the UK and others as an aid instrument because we feel it's the best way of delivering development results at scale.
Applying the Paris principles to budget support has made life easier for Uganda's government.
In the past, the donors who are giving us budget support, in other words, each donor had a different set of conditionalities. Now, after the Paris declaration, we agreed to have one joint budget support, a set of reforms.
At the planning and the budgeting stage, every one of us is in the know. Every one of us understands what targets are supposed to be achieved. And these targets and the indicators are derived from the budget framework papers. So you can see that everybody is on board.
According to the evaluation, donors' use of budget support has also contributed to strengthening capacity in Uganda.
Uganda is in control of everything, right from planning to execution. You're using your own internal systems, it means you're strengthening your internal systems.
The World Bank has given budget support to Uganda for a decade.
There are a lot of benefits in doing budget support because it helps in terms of supporting and strengthening government's system and country systems. So in that sense, I would say this budget support that we are doing in the last 2 years jointly with a number of other development partners is helping in the enhancing government's own country systems.
The UK is also a strong supporter of budget support.
I came into development having been a programme manager in government, and I was frankly quite astonished to see how development partners expected to work with governments who were already struggling with capacity limitations or major programmes. And it seems to me, just on a technical level, it simply does not make sense to require already stretched managers in government to juggle different reporting systems, different financial management systems, and that it's a much better solution to actually strengthen those core systems so that the development partners can work through them.
But first and foremost, budget support, as opposed to project support, makes it possible for donors to contribute towards results at scale.
If you really want to reach hundreds of thousands of children or hundreds of thousands of patients, you really need to be able to work through a national system. And budget support has provided an opportunity to do that.
Budget support does not come without conditionalities, or rather it's dispersed depending on how Uganda lives up to targets agreed upon jointly by the government and budget support donors.
The beauty is that generally, government knows the parameters of concern to donors, and they will know in advance that they have not fulfilled those parameters or have fulfilled them, and they would know what the reactions of the donors will be. So there is a level of predictability in spite of the changes.
In 2010, donors cut budget support by 10% as Uganda's government did not fully deliver on the agreed targets, among other things in the fight against corruption.
I think that was part of the process which we had agreed anyway, that they perform, we perform. And I think for some reason or another, there was some area which we had not yet moved, or disagreement, and therefore they cut that one. It was within the framework which we had agreed, so we can't complain. And we are now taking corrective measures, so which is okay.